This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So to clarify something, okay, about what's actually what we are. Maybe you might be uh, customizations and data. Okay. So whatever we are going to do in the settings area, that we can call it as a customizations. And whatever we are doing in the front end data filling, that we consider as a data. Okay, remember these two things. And end user will be using a data part. They will play with the data. As a developer, you are going to do the customizations. This is a simple thing you just keep in mind. Now let's see. So we have seen a business entity, custom entities, system entities, creation, updation, deletion, data as well. Now, when we are creating an entity, what are the things are available? What categories of the entities are there? Let's discuss now. Okay. Categories of entities. Okay. This you will find when you are creating an entity. Let me, yeah, it is not opened. Come on. So by the time it is getting loaded, there are three types of categories there in the entities. One is classic, and the second one is activity type, and third one is virtual entity. Okay, these are the three types of three categories of entities are there. Let's see how to create them basically. Okay, now let me open one of the application. Now how to go to a settings module. So select this symbol of settings. Okay, and advanced settings. So this will redirect into the settings module. So how to work with an entity? Let me go to the solutions. Right, solution. Yesterday we have created one of the solution, nothing but demo solution. Right, now we played yesterday a different creating, updating, all these things. Now we are not going to do all these things. Let's remove all the components which is available. I'm just removing, not delete, I'm just removing from the solution. And apps as well, I don't want to use any apps right now. Remove is different, delete is different. Remove is just temporarily removing from this box, and delete is something completely you are deleting. Okay, that is the difference. Now what I will do, I'll click on a new. So creating an entity. So whenever you are creating an entity, we are not going to discuss all these things. I'll keep it aside because we have a separate topics is there. Okay, whenever the topic comes, I'll come back here. Right now, to create an entity, what are the things is required? You need a display name, you need a plural name, and schema name will be by default comes whenever you fill the display name. Okay, let's see. Demo. It's a demo is a entity name, and demos. First time or second time before it is going to be created. So there is a change. There is a chance to change this one. Sample. I'm just taking it as a sample. Okay, right. These are the three important things, and there is a ownership. So by default, let it be whatever it is there. We will not going to talk about. Now, without selecting this option, when you create an entity, that is a classic entity. Remember that one. Okay. What is a classic entity? What is the purpose of that entity? We'll talk. Okay. First step, save and close. Okay. Let it be created. Now, whenever a classic entity is something called the data which you can track anything. For example, I want to track a customer data. I want to track, let's say, customer, how much amount he has spent and how many products he has purchased, anything that you can track in the classic entities. Okay, be available. When it comes to activity, this is mainly talks about couple of entities, couple of activities. For example, I have given a phone call to you. What does that mean? I have done some kind of activity. I have sent an email to you, which means that I have done some activity. Okay. I've wrote a letter to you, which means that I have done some activity. Right. Let's say if you perform any kind of manual activity or manual work, that you can track in the activity entity, and where this will be used. For example, I have sent an email to you. Let's take a previous example. So you have given a phone number to our customers, our organization, that if there is any latest trends came in the cloth store, so just give a phone call to me so that I'll visit your store. In that scenario, how a customer can notify the latest trend comes or not? That guy can give a message, which is a SMS. That guy can give you phone call, right? So in this scenario, giving a phone call is nothing but I have to open the phone, I have to type your number, I have to give a green button and whatever the button is there, and I have to talk to you that boss, there is a new something stock came, and if you want you can visit this weekend based on your availability. So in this scenario, there is a work has been done by one of the agent which is there in my organization. Right. Now I'll ask as a, like, let's say, manager. I told couple of agents to perform, like, take these phone numbers and do the phone call to all these people. After 1 hour, I came back to them that have you done your tasks? They are saying, okay, we call the phone number. That's it, done. Whether they lift it or not, no one knows, right? So how I will get to know today there is a 10 phone calls has completed. After 6 days, after 1 year, on so and so date, how many calls has been done? How I will get to know? Okay, so to track or to store that kind of information also, we have a activity entities. Okay, so whatever you will perform as a manual activity, that you can create a specific entity and you can perform that one. Okay, so in the real-time scenario, we have a different activities are there. Let me show you that. So we have created a demo entity. Okay, what I'll do, by the time I'll create a one more activity type entity. Test activity, test activities. So here you have to select the define as an activity entity, display in activity menus. What does that mean? I will tell you. Save and close. Let it be created. I'm not going to touch. Let's go to here, contacts. It is creating, right? Come on, yeah. Okay.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sir, it's activity entity means it's nothing but tracking a flow of work.
Yes. So depends on what kind of activities that your organization is going to provide. For example, uh, let's say phone calls. If you call me, like I will say, "Bus, don't call me." If you message me, I'll say, "Don't message me." And
Okay.
so, if you compare, if you take, let's say, premium customers, let's
Okay.
think about a big perspective. People will not encourage phone calls, all these things. Then they will take this time as an appointment and come to my home and explain the things properly. In that scenario, it's a manual activity. How you will track that one? So there is an activity, right?
Mm.
So something you are going via travel, whatever the thing is there, that you will go to
Yeah.
that specific customer manually and you will visit him personally and you will explain the things and you will come to, okay, this guy is interested. Let's make some sales with this guy, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
So these kind of things will be handled or will be tracked in the activity type entities. Let me
Mhm.
show you what types of entities are there like that activity. So I'll create, let's say, Lalit Kumar. Okay, this guy is a customer. Now I am a sales agent. Okay, we have a customer here. Maybe this guy is an existing customer, whatever it is there. Now I want to track. There is a personal meeting is there. So see here, these are all the activities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just now we have created a test activity. You see, this is displaying in the activity menu. You can observe this one. Appointment is something manually you have to go and appoint. You'll take some time, and whether you will go to personal or whether it is an online meeting, whatever it is there, it is an appointment. Sending a email, phone call, task. As I said, right? So you'll go and personally meet that guy. That you can call it as a task. Booking alert, it depends on different module. They have a different activities. Okay, so in the real time scenario, let's take only phone call and email, right? Now for example, this guy has provided a mobile number and we have to give a phone call to that guy, right? Now as a sales agent, I have to give a phone call to this guy to get the details. Let's give a phone call. Okay, don't think about this now. uh, to check the customer interest on a new model of product, whatever it is there. Okay, so this is the outgoing call. Now save and close. So there is an activity is created in the system that I have given a phone call. How that going as a phone call, that is a different story. Right now we have created a phone call record. Now when I open that phone call record, I have to close this task. I have to complete this task. Whenever I complete the task, let's say this person, let's say, spoke to customer, he is interested on the product but need some extra discount. Now this is the outcome of the phone call, and I will say mark as complete. Now after couple of days, like if you want to validate, okay, so and so done, so and so time we have gone through the phone call, and this is what the outcome. Like as an agent, you can show this, this is done, and as a manager point of view, okay, there is a information is already tracked because this guy is interested but he needs some extra discount. Again you can reach out to that guy, this much discount we can give you, or this much offer we can give you, something like that. It depends on what type of activity you are performing in the organization. You can create a specific entities, or you can use the existing entities. There is already these type of activity type entities are there. You can use them, or you can create your own activity. Okay, for example, if you are working with a real estate company, okay, so to show the land, let's say you have the sales agencies there, and you need to take your customer to specific site and show them and explain them what is the measurements, all these things, and what is the nearby things are there. How you will track that activity? Something you need to track, right? So for that one, Lalit is a customer, already a customer or new customer. So he came to like, uh, for example, Nanakram Guda. Area visit. I'm just saying, there might be a site would be there for you, and we want to go there and save. And what is the outcome? Like here, you do not have that one. Maybe just go and complete it. Okay, this is how manual activity of the agents will be tracked like this, and whom this activity has been performed. The Lalit is a customer. For that customer, we have performed these kind of activities. So that kind of for data purpose, you can create the activity entity. Now you see, when you create a classic entity, the symbol is different. When you create an activity, this is different. And if I go to columns, which is nothing but the fields. For normal entity, you have a 19 fields only. For classic, sorry, for activity entity, you have a 66 fields. Okay, we will talk about all these things. Basically, activity entity is not direct entity. It will be connected to activity party. Okay, that's why you are able to see all the activities at one shot as a activities. This is a sub entities of the activity party. So that's why it has a more fields. Just have an idea. Now we know how to create a customer information or normal data. We know how to create a like manual activities. Okay, these are the two entities. Coming to one more entity. Okay, I'm not going to create that entity right now, but we will show you how to create that. You see, virtual entity. Okay, virtual entity is required a data source. What does it mean, data source? and for that external collection name as well. This is a little bit tricky thing. We will see this one at the end of the training at the last classes, because it's required for if it is useful for interview questions only, not like a real-time experience. What is the purpose of this virtual entity? I'll tell you. This is your CRM organization, and you can open and you can play with the data. And this is the external DB, let's say SQL DB or external source of data. Okay. Now, by creating a virtual entity, and you have to configure this data source. Remember that this data source, and whenever you want to see the external data in your CRM organization, remember this is only for a read-only purpose. You cannot do any kind of data upset operations. Only reading only you can do from external DB to inside your CRM. With that, you can use the respective data source. So this data source is something called the properties of the external DB. Okay, you can see all these types of data sources there. You can take whatever the data source, you can create your own data source. That is the thing, and a couple of properties. We will see at the end about this. Not now, because your like way of direction will go in a different way when you start this one. Okay, let's understand only entity creation and what are the categories are there. 3 types of categories. Okay, right. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll take it as a no questions. So now we have seen, can I delete the activity entity? Let me delete it. So there is no alert or error message, so which means that I can delete the entity. Right. Now we understand what is the data. We understand how to connect the data in between as a relationship. We understand what are the types of entities and what are the categories of entities are there. Now using that knowledge, we are going to build a project right now. Before you are going to build the project, you need to design that one. Before you design, you need to get the requirement, or you need to do the analysis, right? To come to, let's say, click on new, fill the properties and save, and followed by using that entity in here. Let's say I have created a lead entity, and let's fill this one some and save the data, use customer. To perform this, before this one, there is a number of different activities which we need to perform. What are they? So just now I told, right? Analysis, design, development, or you can say build, then test and deployment. As a developer, we are not going to test it much, but it's a unit testing, deployment. Okay, these are the major things which we will do as part of as the responsibilities of the developer. Okay, let's concentrate on this one first. Whenever the wait, is it deleted? Come on, yaar. Okay, so before we are going to get into this session, let's understand a couple of terminology for the new, like let's say freshers. Okay, I'll keep it aside. Now there is a words called client, there's a word called vendor, product, or product, whatever the product bit company or whatever it is there. Okay. Now, for example, you are working in Infosys, example purpose. Okay. You are a employee of Infosys. Now, there is a, let's say, Apollo. Okay. So Apollo hospitals. Why I am taking a hospital management is because whenever you want to develop, whenever you want to design analysis, you need a real-time experience. Then only you will be confident to, okay, this is the activity, this is the functionality, work like this. When I explain vehicle manufacturing company domain, you don't know what exactly happening in the inside the organization. Even I also don't know. Based on the project experience which I have, I can explain you. But I didn't go to inside the organization. I didn't see anything. But when it comes to hospitals, in their lifetime, they might have seen at one time at least, maybe for a visiting purpose or anything purpose. So they have gone through the corporate hospitals. Okay. So let's take that experience as a domain knowledge, or we'll talk about what is a domain and what is a technical later, but we have a real-time experience how the hospitals is going to work. That hospitals, they want to digitalize their manual activities, and they want to increase the productivity. For example, I'll tell you one scenario where I have faced. Okay. So one of my relative admitted in the hospital. Okay. 4 days treatment has been done. And now that person wants to that person has to discharge. Okay. She's admitted in the 4th floor of hospital. Now the administration section is there in the 1st floor where insurance things is happening. Okay. Now to interact between the hospital, the patient and administration section, there is 2 to 3 people are working. Now they have to go to there and they have to take a different signs, and they have to come to administration section, they have to validate, again they have to go. You see, if you think about only one patient, how much time it is consuming. Okay. And if you compare overall a month, overall a year, for like thousands of patients, how much time it is going to happen nowadays. Like for discharge also, to remove that, to vacate that bed also, it will take half a day. Okay. Because until the total amount is transferred, or until that insurance got completed, you will not allow to vacate that bed, right? But that half day amount you are not going to pay, because your discharge date is yesterday or maybe in the morning, but still I was staying in the till afternoon. That is the loss for hospitals, right? So for them, that is a loss. So to, if you see these all the manual activities, if they digitalize that one, right? So in that scenario, it will be very helpful for them to vacate the beds within within 10 to 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes, and they can save the time, and they can allot that bed to another patient, maybe if the floating is high, right? Don't think about small hospital, think about Apollo, Continental, NIMS, big hospitals, where per hour they are going to charge, let's say, 5,000 rupees, maybe ICU or maybe general ward or special ward. So these kind of big hospitals, they will charge like anything, right? So that's why the Apollo hospital wants to digitalize this entire process step by step. Okay. Now they have started giving a, like, let's say a notification, but we want to digitalize our process. We are ready for bidding. Like, it's like a bidding will happen for any kind of projects, and let's say TCS, Accenture, and let's say CTS, whatever the companies are there. So all the companies are ready to go for the bidding of the hospital, and these hospital management, they will come with, okay, we have 100 crores of budget we have, and this is what we are requirement. Now these people have gone through the management, all the processes and all the bidding process, sales, whatever this is. Finally this hospital, Apollo Hospitals, has confirmed the project to Infosys. Okay, now, which means that Infosys got the project, first step. Now in this scenario, Infosys is a vendor for Apollo. Okay, this is the one thing you need to understand. And Apollo Hospitals is a client to Infosys, right? Are you guys following? Any confusion here? Maybe experienced people, this might be like nothing, but freshers, right? Now we understand client and we understand vendor terminology. Now what is the product? See here, they didn't mention any kind of technology that they are going to use. Infosys has come up with, boss, to fit your requirement, to fit your hospitals. Now a CRM has a very good features to work with you, dynamic CRM. Now in this scenario, dynamic CRM is a product which we are going to refer to the client. Okay, now if the hospital are there, like hospital management, they'll have a architects as well. They will look at the latest trends of the technologies, and if they see, if they agreed with this one, and followed by all the budget, all these things happening, that is okay. Then they will go with, okay, fine, let's go with the next level of project implementation. From there onwards, the estimation will happen. How many developers is required, how many testers are required, project managers, all these things will be happening. After that, requirement analysis. Okay, just a second. Okay, so today I'll give you one task. Think about task for this. Okay, remember or think whatever it is there, get the information. Okay, so about hospital, which they are doing daily activities, which we can track in the system. When I say system, we can do in the inside the, we can put in the database as a data. This is what you need to you don't need to document, you don't need to, just think about, recap your experience in the hospital, where the registration is there, where the doctor is there, all these things. Okay, so just have an idea and come with that knowledge. You are in a hospital. Okay, think about that one. Okay, I went to registration, I went to doctor, I went to bed, and I went to administration, let's say bill counter or something, medication, pharmacy, all these things you just remember. Come with that mood tomorrow. We will talk about that. Okay, we have to design a system for hospital management. Before that, we need to analyze how the hospital is going to work. Don't think very big application. Think about small application we are going to develop for the hospital using Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Will you guys do that one, or do you feel any difficulty? It's like a remembering, that's it. Nothing is going to do. What are the things are available in the hospital? Tomorrow we will analyze and we will design the thing and we will create a couple of a project related stuff. Okay. Say yes or no. Right.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop the recording. So